Now, have you had to deal with a toxic relationship in the business environment, particularly, or maybe you have had a situation where you have been taken advantage of in your business? If you have, I really want to point out that doing business is already complicated. But having someone taking advantage of you while you are doing business make it even more hard for you. So for that, it is important that you know what to do, how to identify this individual who are just there for the purpose of preying on you. There are a lot of people that are out there in the business environment. They see what you are doing. Their intention is not only to work with you, they are there to take advantage of you. That is some of the things that we'll be referring to as toxic partnership in the business environment. There are many of them out there. But do you know how to identify them? Do you know what to do when you happen to find a toxic person or a toxic partner in your business ecosystem? This is what we're going to be talking about today with Amanda.
Hi everybody, my name is Amanda Craven. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, life coach, psychologist and author. And I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and leaders break free from toxic relationships, from emotional trauma that are impacting on their life. And that can be their business life, it can be their personal life, because as an entrepreneur, if you're impacted by something, your business is going to be impacted by something. So my goal is to help my clients find joy and success, both in their business and in their personal life.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And that is actually a lot that we're going to cover today. I really love that kind of approach to that, that we have a lot that people are going to benefit from. Now, how we start here is that we usually spend some time talking about the guest that we have here. In this case, is you. So do you want to tell me a bit about your infancy? Where did you grow up? What do you remember of your young adolescent? Yeah.
Okay. So, currently I live in North Yorkshire in the United Kingdom. I've led quite a nomadic life. I was born in London, lived in the northwest of England, studied in Birmingham. Then I moved to France for 6 years before returning to the UK and living in different cities before coming to my dream home by the sea. So this was a long-term dream that I had. My childhood was quite ordinary in many ways. So I was a very sensitive child, and growing up in the 1970s, the world didn't really accommodate sensitive people very well. So I think that impacted on my self-confidence, on my self-esteem, and I did have mental health struggles, including depression and anxiety, through my childhood from about the age of 9 right through to my early 20s. So I think this was where my interest in mental health and helping people started to take form.
All right. Thank you so much for that sharing. So what do you remember of those, let's say, the difficult time in your life? Tell me about how the people around you sort of interacted with you, what you did to be able to come out of it, because now you are helping people to sort of overcome some of those challenges. Life is not always perfect. Life is not black and white. Sometimes I often say to people here, what we pass through in life is what actually makes us what we become at the end of the day. Absolutely. Because if you haven't had any experience, then you have nothing to talk about. So maybe you are just going to talk about other people. Yeah. Whereas because we are sort of heavy on storytelling here, we encourage people to deep down their own journey so that you reveal more about yourself as you talk to other people. So tell me more about those challenges, moment that you had, the relationship that was around you, how that may have helped you. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think I was very lucky in that I had a very loving family. My parents both loved me and my 4 siblings very much, and that was very clear. But we had quite a strict upbringing. Um, at school, it was a different story, and I feel that my sensitivities and my way of talking, I have quite a gentle way of talking. My voice is fairly quiet, although when I'm talking about my passions, I become animated. But as a child, I was often told that I was too sensitive, that I spoke too quietly, that I should speak up. And this definitely impacted on my self-confidence at the time. But as I've come through life, I've realized that my voice is actually my superpower. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and my voice is my primary tool. And time and time and time again, people say to me, I just feel so safe when I hear you talking. I feel relaxed and I feel calm. And of course, when I'm conducting hypnotherapy sessions, then I'm doing that just using my voice, because I do it over Zoom or over the phone with just using audio connections. So I can't use any other tools. I'm not in the room with the person, and it is the power of my voice. So I think that's a really important message for everybody, that things that at one point seemed to work against you because people were criticizing, they didn't like it, they made me feel embarrassed about my quiet voice. Now, this voice, as I say, is my superpower and is enabling me to really help people transform their own lives.
So now your voice has become your tool of engagement.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is really very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So did you have to develop this, your ability to really hone in on your voice? Or do you, at what point did you realize that your voice, because, okay, your voice can actually be looked upon in different ways. Here we tell people to own their voice. By that, we're telling people to own their story.
Yes.
Then, of course, that also includes being able to use your voice to talk, to communicate, to say what you have inside of you. Because nobody is able to know what is in your mind until you express it. So your mouth, in this case, and your voice have become a powerful instrument that we can talk about, either in storytelling or in your case now as a hypnotherapist. So it becomes very important in this sense. So what I'm sort of curious about is, at what point did you realize that you have this superpower? So that then, of course, I want to imagine and believe that you have to develop it over time, So help me understand that.
Right. Well, I think it's a combination of things coming together. So obviously, I've always had my voice throughout my life, and it's been a gentle, expressive voice. I've had the ability to listen to people, to connect with people, and I think that sensitivity that I mentioned, and being an empath, you might like to say, or a highly sensitive person, again, has its disadvantages in a busy world where people are shouting to get noticed. But it also is, in a way, another set of superpowers, because when we listen, and it's only when we listen that we can understand other people, we can connect with them, because we're listening to their story and we're able to put ourselves in their shoes. So these are traits that I would say I've had all my life. And then as I moved through adult life and did different careers, my initial university training was in languages, French and German. And as I say, I went to live in France. I went to teach English as a foreign language. and then became manager of a group of language centres. So again, I suppose I was using my voice initially to teach and to help people learn the English language.